Hello and welcome to Maverick Live. I am your host Luke 2, and today we are not putting our title card down. Here we go. And today I'm joined by Jay Unwin.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You are probably the newest member of the Maverick team, and I've done an introduction for everyone. Actually, I wouldn't say newest member. We've got Adam, who's going to be here later on down the line of a month. But you've been with us for how long now?
It's still less than 3 months. So I started at the beginning of February, so still very new.
Quite a journey. And before then, you've actually done your own webinar with Get Fitness clients on LinkedIn, which is really successful. And you've been pretty much spearheading with a lot of the sales. I want to say a lot of the sales department. Doing a lot of work on that. So when you first came to Maverick, what was you doing before then?
So for the past kind of nearly 10 years, I've been self-employed in some kind of form or another in the fitness industry. So I started out as a personal trainer, owned my own gym for a little bit, did online coaching, did speaking at events on that topic as well. And this last year has been a bit of a weird one, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. After what's happened considerably.
Yeah, absolutely. And this job came up. A friend told me about a job coming up here, and I had a look into it because it's quite different to anything that I've done before. And it just looked like a pretty fun company to work for, to be honest. Yeah,
we're a bit strange. When you first walk in, you're like, oh, okay. You're imagining like, what was your imagination when you first walked through the doors?
Well, to be honest, I think I had a pretty good indication from the online presence. I think the online presence of Maverick and the reality of it are quite congruent, to use a fancy word, that I also used to be a teacher. But I think prior to that, whenever I kind of thought of kind of sales training companies and things like that, and sales in general, it was always very dry and I never found
whiteboards and PowerPoints and shirts and ties and the rest of it.
Absolutely. And it was that very kind of almost like a traditional sales sense that you see the kind of 80s and 90s, like you said, suit and tie kind of thing. And I found sales in general to be quite the way it was trained in previous things that I've done, to be something which didn't really sit with my values that well, because it was very pushy, it was very manipulative. And so when I kind of started looking into the way Maverick taught it, and I thought, actually, this is exactly the way it should be done. This is exactly the way I feel comfortable doing it. It's a lot more relational.
So comfortable is a good word for it.
Yeah, it really is. It's not pushy, it's not manipulative. It is solving people's problems, which is what all businesses should be doing. And it's doing it in a way where you're actually building the relationship first. And everything I'd seen prior had always been about building the relationship after pressuring someone into the sale. The relationship comes later.
Like, go. And we're through a door like, okay, now we can talk about how this product will benefit you because now you've already bought it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like, okay, I understand, but that's not how it should be done. And that's how you actually just annoy a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I think there's the whole cold calling thing. It has such a stigma around it because all it's done is make people hate salespeople.
Yeah,
like and you know, it's a thing because they felt pressured by them. They felt like they're kind of like sort of just preying on people. So maybe people were vulnerable. Maybe people don't know what they want, but they want to buy anyway.
Yeah.
And like we say, we do teach to build a relationship so you understand how you can actually benefit that person, which makes sales so much easier.
It does, and it also makes it. It makes it more about a win-win situation rather than a win-lose.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily want to bring everyone on as a client anyway. So I think that it makes sense from both sides because, yes, the prospect or the client gets more what they need. It's more relevant to them. And if they don't need it, then they don't get it. And that's cool. There's no pressure. But also on the side of it from the business, so from our side of it or from the side of it of one of our clients, they're not going to end up with clients that they don't want because they've got to know them first.
Yeah.
And so any of those red flags where you go, actually, I really don't want to work with this person,
and you
has
can
come up before the sale.
Spending hours with that person trying to get it right with them, and you end up wasting so much like potential to sell to people who actually will benefit from your product. And you spend so long just being like, okay, I'm mitigating you, I'm fixing all these issues from you, and they're not paying any extra. They're not giving you any more extra revenue. They're just giving you more problems.
Yeah.
And on a plus side, I guess you can show where you can refine your product to them, or you realize you've targeted the wrong person.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day.
And if they're not someone who is the right fit for you, then because you haven't burned that bridge, you may still get referrals from that person. So they may say, oh, you know what, actually, they might be talking to one of their friends who says that they need some training in sales, or they're part of an organization that needs that. And they say, well, actually, I had a chat with someone from Maverick the other day, really great experience. They seem to know what they're on about. Maybe you should give them a call. Whereas if they've had a negative experience, if they've had a kind of a pushy or uncomfortable phone call, then they're very unlikely to do that, because that bridge has been burned, and you're ploughing through people without any regard for the collateral damage.
Yeah, when someone mentions the name of the company and they go, oh yeah. You get that thing where you're just like, oh, I worked with like this company. We're like, oh, did you?
Yeah, or the teeth sucking.
Yeah, like, okay. Right. Did you have a good time at least? They were like, oh yeah, this person was really nice. Oh, were they? That sort of thing. During the sales process then, what's your favorite element of it, in a sense? Which is quite a tough question right off the bat. Like when you're generating content, when you think about it, 'cause I feel like you're very good with your content. You seem very.
I do like content.
Yeah, you feel very. When I see your content, I enjoy it, and I feel like you work hard to make it, good.
Yeah, and that's something which I think has come because I like writing, and I enjoy kind of most social media platforms to a degree. They've all got their problems, I guess, but. That's something that I've enjoyed a lot throughout the kind of fitness career that I've had. And so I've kind of brought that with me. In terms of what I enjoy about the process now, I think, to be honest, I enjoy the calls, which is bizarre, because that's something which I've never enjoyed in past sales roles, or the sales element of past roles, because of the way I was doing it. And it felt a bit like, I kind of dread it.
Yeah, a bit daunting.
Yeah. And now, because I'm doing it a different way, because of what I've learned over the past 2.5 months, it's actually a really enjoyable process, because I find it is really just a getting to know. I mean, that's why they're called discovery calls, right? It's because you're discovering stuff about them, they're discovering stuff about you. And it feels like the start of a relationship, a start of a working relationship or friendship or whatever, rather than being the start and the finish. Yeah.
Like a checkout call where you're just, you've got the product and it's gone through, and you don't have a great conversation with those people a lot of the time. No. Like, you might have some really good customer service, but if it's just a general transaction, those calls can literally just be like, okay, you've got this, cool, bye. And then you don't understand, why we bought it, what it's for, the whole relationship building side of it.
Yeah. And I think that most people are interested in other people. I genuinely think that people love people, and that's why reality TV is so popular, because we're fascinated by what other people are doing and the choices they're making and their actions and all of this stuff.
A lot of them are car crashes, but
true. But it's like I think because we are interested in other people, we're social creatures. I think that if we can harness that in our sales process and I guess have these calls with people where we're genuinely interested. I want to know what people are doing in their business. I want to know what offer they're giving people, what problem they're solving, what their current challenges are in perhaps their own sales process. I want to know what those problems are. I want to know what they're getting up to.
Yeah.
As well as the personal stuff, I want to know what they did at the weekend, and I want to know, what.
The hard part is getting them talking, and being a little bit deeper about their needs and what they want.
Yeah.
And you need to generate their interest as well, because if you're just literally talking about yourself all the time, everyone's had that sort of party where someone's like a rocket scientist and they're talking about, well, in the office I just did this, and every time you talk about something, they bring it back to that, and then it's just.
What kind of parties are you going to when there's rocket scientists?
I mean, I've been no parties lately, obviously.
That's true. Those imaginary parties with all the rocket scientists.
It was just me with just a bunch of just coloured all my fingers with smiley faces on. Just like, this is Dennis, he's a rocket scientist, and he will not shut up about it.
Invite me next time. This sounds like a right laugh.
But yeah, if you're not generating their own interest in you, and you're basically just talking about yourself and not showing, it's got to be about them at the end of the day.
Yes, it has, and I think that everyone loves talking about themselves, of course, and so the person you're talking to wants to talk about themselves. But it can be really fascinating, because once you start asking these questions and you start getting this information, it is really interesting, and it is to most people. This is something that anyone can, whether they're an individual, like self-employed, solopreneur, or whatever you want to call it, or whether you're a salesperson in a bigger team, in a bigger organization. If you can actually start getting genuinely interested, not fake interested, but genuinely interested in every single person you speak to, you can really kind of latch onto that and really start enjoying it.
Yeah, this can work with like any offering as well, because you said you come from a fitness background.
Yep.
But it works from fitness all the way up until like, you know, internet security.
Yeah.
It can go anywhere, like finance. This method works throughout the entire spectrum.
Yeah.
Obviously, as long as you're not like just openly just selling and just chucking cookies out and just getting money from that. If you've got a general offering and a product, you build a relationship, you sell that relationship, or you don't sell a relationship, you sell the product within the relationship, discover their needs, benefits, and then, you know, boom, you're on your way. You do that with so many people, you've got a big business. You do it with 1,000 people, you've got a huge business. Next thing you know, you've solved the world's problems and everyone's hugging.
Yes, perfect. World peace. There we go.
We've done it in a 50 minutes.
If only we were in charge, Luke. Imagine that.
Well, so thank you for coming down to my little Maverick Studio dungeon.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. Good to chat.
We'll have you again as soon as obviously as soon as restrictions allow. We're going to have more people within the office. We want to use the studio more. A lot of the time. So as time goes on, as we're all getting our vaccinations, as we're all getting back into a normal world, it'll be good to see you next time.
More than happy to come down again.
Thank you for watching Maverick Live. If you enjoyed our content, don't forget to subscribe to us on all our social media platforms, and we'll be back on Wednesday for our next session.